Hello. Maybe one day I'll be done with this game. In 100 years when I figure out all the puzzles. Oh, did you see the water on the fountain like render for just a second before it corrected itself? Okay, nice to start with a sauna. There's a bunch of things that I want to try. I had one specific idea, but otherwise I'm just gonna kind of start going through there. Start going through the rooms. There's a lot of things I want to try. I want to try building a furnace next to a freezer. There's still a few rooms I haven't been in yet. Like the master bedroom. Let's toss a chapel over here. There's still some stuff I want to buy, like from the bookstore or from the luxury shop. Ooh, that's pretty nice here. Give me something good. Okay. Oh, early keycard is excellent. This is... Wait. No. If I find a parlor that has the 3 puzzle boxes in it, then I'll get to try my idea. But for now, I'll just get some keys. Let's see. I think it's still in and out. Oh, I see. So that's going to be... Wait a minute. This doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't this get me a negative value? Right, first of all, I wasn't sure whether I add the 2 numbers and then square. Okay, so it must be that I add the 2 of them and then square, because if I square this, that would get me negative. So it has to be 25, it has to be 5. Okay. So I guess that informs the square rule, that you square it after you do all those steps. So I think what this ends up being is 2 minus 2 is 0 plus 2 is 4. It's not. What? Okay, so there's 9. This is going to be 5. So this would be 2. If this followed the same rules as before, then it would be 2 minus 2 is 0, plus 2 is 2, and then square it to get 4. But apparently what it wants me to do instead is 2 squared is 4, minus 2 plus 2 is also 4. What? How is that not 4? 9, 5. What is this saying? 2 minus 2 is 0, plus 2 is 2, squared is 4. What? The order of operation so far is always in to out, and then it's the color that dictates what operation you're doing. Does it expect me to go 2 plus 2 is 4, squared is 16, minus 2 is 14? No. What? 2 minus 2 is 0, plus 2 is 2, squared is 4. Do I just need a process of elimination this? Does it expect me to square it twice? It expected me to square it twice. What? It expects me to do it at each step. So that was 2 squared is 4. Minus 2 is 2, plus 2, and then square that. So it expects me to do it at each step. Okay. So we have negative 20. Plus 20 is 0. Which you square that and get 0. You add 1 and square that and get 1. So you end up getting 9. Okay. So that's interesting. You square at each step. I didn't know that. Still learning things in this game after a million attempts. Go ahead and do a drawing room. Nothing useful in here. I wish I could operate the phone. That could be some puzzle. Kitchen could be nice. I kind of don't like how much I'm isolating myself to the west wing here. I think I'd rather save my money and just get some keys and continue up this way. I mean, I have those steps from the sauna, so I'm already doing just fine. Still waffling on that chess puzzle. I don't think I can read any of these. Getting a library would be kind of interesting. I think I don't want to cut myself off. We'll do a parlor. So here's something I wanted to try. I'm going to take this, and I'm not actually going to use it yet, because I might be able to combine this in the combination room. So I'll come back to that. West Wing. At least I'm getting a good layout. I have a lot of options here. I'm going to start running low at some point. Still no locks. Broken lever could be nice to grab. I'm thinking maybe just get... I don't know that I care about taking that out right now, although I kind of want to put in another item. I guess I can do that later. For the time being, it'd be nice to get that if I get a casino, though. Let's just do a storeroom, get that out of the pool. And then I can carry on. Because I still have the option to backtrack to spawn anyway. I've got to start getting locked doors soon. Yeah, there's one. Observatory goes up. I don't really need the kitchen. Let's do the observatory. It's kind of rare that I get to build this straight up for this long. Also, as I'm going through, I've been watching another person play this, and I haven't... They're still early enough that I haven't learned anything that I didn't already know. Hey, Poco, how are you? But at the same time, as I'm going through these rooms, I'm going to just, you know, spend just a second here kind of looking again, see if there's some interactable I missed. Excellent. I feel like a courtyard is kind of a waste here. I'd rather spare a bedroom and go straight. I'm going to have to backtrack a lot, but I have a lot of steps, so I don't really care about that. Okay, car keys. There is still a chance that I can build a garage further up, too. Passageway. I have 8 gems. That's a lot. I think passageway is the right call here. I'll just kind of continue my strategy. I found the strategy of kind of trying to fill in like individual sides has worked pretty well. Use some more keys. Here we go. Gift shop for 20. Actually, I think probably commissary makes more sense here. Or the office. But I also want to build a trophy room. The current goal is just to do more stuff. More specifically, there are... I haven't counted them all up, but there's probably on the order of 10 things I'm aware of that are mysteries that I don't know how to do. For example, the torch room, the chess room, trying to build a furnace next to the freezer, building the master bedroom. There's kind of a lot of scattered things. So I'm just going to play through and kind of see what presents itself. I may hit a point in this game. In fact, I'm very likely to hit a point if I continue with this game where I'm having to like try to beeline extremely specific objectives. Let me not build that yet because I don't have all that much money anyway. Build a commissary. But for now I have, even though I've done a lot in this game, I have enough left over that I can still do a fair amount. Running shoes would be good for the outside. We'll get those. Get the sledgehammer too. A big thing is just gathering up a lot of money as well. Like to go to the bookshop, for example. Garage cuts me off here, but I have enough in the other passageway. This also gets me more keys. And I have the car key, so I'll go ahead and do this. Thank you. Okay. One of the objectives is to get into the antechamber again, get the basement key, and go open up the fountain so that I can have it permanently unlocked and stop worrying about it. Nothing new in here, right? Yep, just a random letter. I still don't know how this information presents itself. Like, Sandy Heights is associated with an area, and there's 14227. I haven't really found much in the way of... There are some notes that kind of give you more explicit hints about what to do. These more lore-type notes, I really don't know what the purpose of them is besides the world building. Okay, back over here. Actually, while I'm here, let's grab another gem. I want 5 so I can build a trophy room if it presents itself. Boiler room could be nice, but also... No, I want to do a hallway. Because I have the secret garden key, it seems likely that I can use this to get into... I don't need a special key here. Alright, excellent. Man, I got really lucky this run. So right there, that gets me access to the antechamber once I go set up the secret garden and come back. And I'm going to actually not go in there quite yet. I'd rather just save the steps. I'm still going to have to go all the way back. I'm just going to kind of start working my way across. It's so rare to get a run that is this fruitful. You know, I got all the way up here. Kitchen is a bad idea. The pool keeps things open. At least a little bit. Well, but with the passageway, I can already go over here. At which point, I might as well save the gem. The benefit here is that I get a pump room, but I really only care about that if I have a boiler room first. And also, I want to open up the basement first. This seems like a bad idea. Especially because I have 1 gold. This is just a dead end, but I might find a gem or something in there. I'm going to actually save the gems and just build a bedroom, since that at least preserves steps. Okay, no luck here. What else? Give me something good. Casino is a cutoff. Tunnel would let me go straight. Let's build a tunnel and just work my way back down. I still have the option of turning around and coming back, of course. Anything else in here? A brick. Is that not worth picking up? I don't know that I agree with that. See, here I could build another tunnel and just keep going down. There's no entrance on this side anyway. So I'm going to build a tunnel so that I can just keep going. This is a very, very powerful room. I've never really gotten to use the tunnel, like, a lot of times in a row. But I want to head back towards spawn, and I have the running shoes to go outside anyway. The lab could be good to have. It does cut me off. And I would just have to backtrack around. I think I'd rather just continue the tunnel, if I'm being honest. I'm going to end up with, like, this uber long tunnel. I wonder if anything happens if you build a super long tunnel. Probably not. Oh my god. The problem is that I'm not removing anything from the pool when I do this. Okay, the office gets me over, but it also eats 2 gems, and I don't really care about what's in the office. So, honestly, I'm just going to tunnel again. I mean, it gets me these dig spots, so that's nice. Except that they all have nothing in them. Here we go. Now the dining room makes sense to build. And I get my lunchbox. Thank you. And I get this. My quail. I don't have a trophy room, but I'll take 20 steps. Not bad to have this much built, and I'm sitting at 92 steps, and I have the running shoes. That's not bad at all. Also, I've never dug up a treasure map. Let me do this and work my way outside with the running shoes. Here it makes sense to do the boudoir, get those extra tasty apples, and just carry on my way. I'm never, ever going to figure out the safe. It's unsolvable. Okay, so let's head back around. Especially because I'm quite low on resources. Now I'll use my running shoes to go outside. Thank you, running shoes. What do I even want here? This kind of looks like gems. Is there anything over here? I don't think I ever came, like, over to this corner. What the? Wait a minute, what the hell? Okay, that's probably nothing. That kind of looked like there was like a... It's like, before I carry on here. I don't think there's anything over here, but I gotta check. Oh, there's the waterfall. Hello. I can't get into the stream, right? I mean, I wouldn't put it past this game to put something in there, though. Maybe I'm being obsessive about it. How can I get into the stream? Is there a spot I can go stand in? Probably not. I think I'm overthinking it. I'm definitely overthinking it. What do we have? Shrine, I can make an offering. I haven't really built many red rooms. That could be kind of nice. Get protection from those. But I also have dig spots. You know, I've only done a shrine like once, so I'm going to do it again, just because I'm kind of curious. I feel like there's more to this area that I haven't really used. Okay. Here I have my 2 coins. My entire fortune. While drafting, you may pay... Okay. Not bad, not bad. Any secrets on the back of the large statue? I mean, I had to try, right? Each time you draft a bedroom, lose 1. Each time you draft a hallway... Oh my god, what the fuck? Each time you draft a red room, lose all of the above. For 2 gold? Oh my god. You know what? It was worth it just to try it. Kind of surprised there wasn't like a sound effect that played or something. Is there nothing else I can do? Do I not get a reward for... There's no like secret passage that I get? No, I'm just cursed straight up. Okay, well that really sucks, actually. Especially because I have 1 fucking key. That was a harsh penalty for 2 gold. Anyway. My current goal, if I can at least get over here and build the secret garden, then I can at least get the antechamber key. Little library. Oh, here's the book I ordered. The Fixed Stars. Is this just the exact same thing that I already have in the other room? Okay, well that was a huge waste. Clara Epson apparently got it. Wait, Richard, The Fixed Stars. Someone was saying that, and by someone I mean I saw some like Twitter posts. I still don't know what's up with this book, by the way. Someone was saying something about like a book in the library that stuck out that was readable. I'm just kind of glancing to see if anything looks really, really obvious. At this point, I'm just on the hunt for, you know, any clues. Or some other hidden passageway. Really, I'll take whatever I can get. Where are all the secret books? I'm pretty sure I checked all of these anyway at least once. Because, like, the first time I came through here, I would have probably done this. In before it's, like, hyper-specific. But that would also be a dick move. You know, in this sea of things that could potentially be interactive, just click on the one random book. Okay, I think there's probably nothing. Never mind. Okay, I want to get over to the east. I could build a gallery, but I don't know how to solve it. But I am curious whether it's going to be the same gallery every time. Let's do this. And I just lost a coin because I built a shop because of the curse. Of course, I don't have any fucking money. But I really want to buy some of these things. So that'll be something to keep in mind for later runs. Are there any secret books on the shelf here in the bookshop? Probably not. Shockingly, there are a lot of books in the bookshop. Okay, moving right along. So I need one of these to be locked, actually. Closet is because I need to get over here, and actually, despite the progress I made here, I haven't made a lot of progress up here, so I need to build the patio to be able to continue up in this direction. And I'm very quickly running out of resources. Thankfully, I do have the special key. So, if I can at least get into the antechamber, that'll be a success. Hallway has me lose some steps. Courtyard gets me +2 gems. That'd be kind of nice. Let's do that since I have to build up here anyway. And I lost a gem, but I'll get him back. I'm gonna not open the locked door because I only have one key. And this curse sucks. Who knew that stealing from an ancient, powerful shrine had consequences? Not me. So I really want to actually be coming at it from this direction, so I think I should go back to the left. Yep, gotta build a gymnasium, unfortunately. And that lost me everything. So now I don't even have a key. But yay, I have 2 monies. So I need something that banks right. I can't do that. That's way too many steps. But I don't have a breaker room, so if I build this, then I'm going to risk the dark room anyway. Come on, be locked. Excellent. Yep, one instance where I don't actually need to see what it is. Good. So I can definitely get into the antechamber here. This is ridiculous. I have 109 steps. With this house already. So at least I know I can very comfortably go get the key and come back. And where was... I was kind of curious, like, does this not very obviously look like an entrance? But I don't even know where that would get me. Unless I have to build, like, the secret garden really high up here or something. Like, there's just... That's so obviously an entrance that's supposed to move. Also, wait, I just realized something else to do. Before I do the thing that I am ambiguously teasing I'm going to do, the answer is I need to spin these again. I think I need to point them both to the right. Right? No? I really thought... Like, there's just no way that's not a door. But I can't turn the top one, so... At least this stays open. I refuse to believe that this is random. Maybe there's like, is there like a pressure switch? One of these bricks is secretly a button. Maybe it's not directly next to it. I mean, there's this brick, which is like really conspicuously blacked out. I'm not seeing any hidden switches in the pots. This thing is called the Secret Garden, so I'm going to look just a little further. I'm not anticipating finding anything, but might as well be thorough. Nothing on the trees. Okay. Might be that I have to build it further up. And I'd be very surprised if that was nothing at all. But I'm not seeing anything else, so moving right along. I might as well continue up over here, and then... Well, actually, just look at the wall I have. I'm going to have to spin all the way around to get the basement key anyway. Maybe given the number of steps I have, I just go ahead and do that right now. Before I come back. I'm just going to do that, actually. It makes sense to go through the courtyard so that I don't burn additional steps going through the gym again. Thanks for the apple. I still haven't quite figured out what causes apples to kind of spawn all over the place. Apples and oranges and bananas. I never opened this. I'm still not going to. Because I can come back and do it later if need be. I've never had this many steps before. Where's the achievement for be a stepping god? So now I can actually come in here. Really nothing I need to do there. Let's see what's over here, just because why not, before I go into the antechamber. Never mind. Hello. One key, please. Thank you. Is there anything worth doing in here? I guess I can turn the security up to high because I have the key card. Key card system. Yes. Hi. And now we go all the way back. I think like a storm just started outside IRL. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, what is like a jet engine flying 1 foot outside my window? Goodbye, money. So now finally, after all that, I can open up this door in the fountain, and I already know where it leads me. It's not, to my knowledge, going to get me anywhere useful. Or anywhere useful given what I've already done. But at least I can have the door open and then stop thinking about the basement key. Yep, and here we are. And having the running shoes over here is fantastic, though. So I've already been over there. I still have a goal of draining the entire reservoir, for which I need boiler room power going to the pump room. And if I head over here, I believe this is what gets me to the torch room. And I don't have the torch thing here. The torch lighting thing. Even if I did, I'm not sure how I would light these. There's... how many are there? There's 8. So I really don't know what the hell this is talking about. And then continuing over here... yeah, okay. This, I believe, came down from some other direction. That's fine. Okay, let me go back to the house, see what more I can build. Just unlocking that door is still an important step. It's going to be hard to do much else with this curse, which is not my fault at all. It's someone else's fault somehow. It does mean I can fill up this fountain, which is kind of tricky because if I do drain it, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, the only reason I'd want to go down there would be easy access to the reservoir or easy access to the torch room. I guess I'll just have to eat that cost when I get there. Okay, nothing more over here. Let's head back over to the east wing. And straight ahead. Crap. I mean, if the run dies here, then I really won't be heartbroken about it. If it does die, I'm going to turn around and do the parlor puzzle as well. Okay, let's see what this is. Well, lucky rabbit's foot. So I think that kills this specific run. So let me go back to the parlor. Because there's a trophy associated with hitting up Jesus, solving 20 parlors. And I haven't done that yet, and I still need to open all the safes too, damn it. Oh, there it is. Okay. The other two statements are both true. The gems are in the white box. The gems are not in the blue box. Okay, let's process of elimination this. Blue box. I think I want to start with this one. If this is true, that the other two statements are true, this is a lie immediately. This can't be true because it would make all three of them true, so this is false. Because that's false, that means that at least one of these is true, maybe both. Okay? If this is true that the gems are in the white box, this is saying the gems are not in the blue box. So that's ambiguous. Wait, let me say that again. If this is true that the gems are in the white box, and this is already false, then this can be anything. So this is ambiguous, because if this is true, that doesn't tell you anything. Let's only do it the other way. If this is false, that the gems are in the white box, that means they're not. The other two statements are both true. Let me say this again. This can't be true, so it's false. If this is also false, that the gems are in the white box, then that means that the gems are in one of these two, and the gems are not in the blue box. So how do I resolve this ambiguity? The other two statements are both true. This cannot be true, because then all three would be true, which means that this is definitely false. That means that at least one of these is true. Guaranteed. If this is true, that the gems are in the white box... Wait a minute. What am I talking about? If this is false, the other two statements are both true. Okay, that doesn't imply that they're both false. It means that... It just means that they're not both true. So if this is false, then only one of these is true and one of them's false. So if this is true, that the gems are in the white box, and this is a lie, saying the gems are not in the blue box. So that's a contradiction because that puts the gems in both the white box and the blue box, which means this has to be false. So the gems aren't in the white box, and the gems aren't in the blue box, meaning they're in the black box. God damn. Trixie. And I believe that's it. We call it a day. I'm still going to be cursed today, so I'll do my best. I don't anticipate great things this day. Architect's Manor. I was kind of curious if something happened on like day 30. I don't really know why. Maybe day 31 because it constitutes a month. But probably nothing happens. Also, I really want to build another whatever the room with Alzara is in it. The Rumpus room. Interesting, I have 25 of each of these. Create all workshop contraptions. Win the drafting strategy sweepstakes, huh? Let's do a billiard room to start. Get some keys that I can immediately throw away every time I build a hallway. Honestly, the strategy here might actually be because I'm cursed. Don't do this yet until I build some hallways and stuff and then come back. Whatever. I don't really care enough to do that. Okay, so this will be 13 minus 10 is 3, squared is 9. So this squares both. So this means 4 squared is 16, minus 15 is 1. I think this means 25 because you add 4 and then square it to get up to 25. And then minus 15 is 10. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's amazing that these are still getting more complicated. It's like it introduces just like one little step every time. It's super cool. So we have 5 plus 10 is 15. Minus 20 is negative 5. Squared is 25. Minus 20 is 5. Squared is 25. Divided by 5 is 1. What? Nonsense. This one was, what was this one again? 16 minus 15 is 1. 25, it's 10. Okay, so my understanding of the rules, we still work my way out. So that means that I have 5 plus 10 is 15. Minus 20 is negative 5. Square it to 25. Minus 20 gets you 5. Square it again to 25. Divided by 5 is 5. Right. So I had it correct. I just did the math wrong. My understanding of the ordering of events was still accurate. The corridors. Let's build a commissary early, actually. That's going to lose me a coin because of the curse. What can I buy with 7? Salt shaker, shovel. Let's get a shovel. If I buy keys, I'm just going to lose them every time I build a hallway anyway. So this is going to cut me off, but all of these cut me off, so might as well get some keys out of it. Oh, I thought that cut me off. Never mind. So this is going to eat a key. I'd rather just storeroom, I think. Get some basic resources. As before, I really don't have high hopes for this run. Let's kitchen. Because I'm going to lose my money anyway, let's just get some... Oh, this I want to do. I've never built a morning room, so I'm definitely building that. So that becomes a new goal, is build the morning room, which is going to be tough when I'm cursed. Chapel passageway, I can't build that anyway. Chapel, just build a parlor. As before, I'm going to hold on to this for now. I really want to see if I can build something with it. Pantry gets me some stuff. Den gets me... Let's do a den since that gets me better access. Better access north, I mean. Hell yeah, I have a shovel, so if I can get to the treasure map room, I can finally solve a treasure map on day 30. Okay, I'm pretty close to that. So where was that treasure map again? Can I not? Oh, I can, yeah. So that's rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's just 2 up here. Well, let's head north. See what I can do. I'll go ahead and use a special key. Seems like a good place for that. I have no money for that, but that gets me closer to... Actually, let's do security. Security makes more sense here. Okay, well. Do the usual. Key card. This. Unlocked. And I will just... I feel like I want the security level set to high, but... Because I'm going to have all my keys eaten by the curse, I'll just set it at medium. Because I have no way to know whether I'll get an actual key card. Okay, so now I have 2 opportunities to get to that room. Build a boiler room. That'll get me in the right direction. Just power it on and then do this. Let me just activate the power and then switch it back. What? Mostly I want the music to change. Okay, so the treasure map is in here. So let me build a nursery. I can't build a nursery. I guess I'll build a pantry. So where do I dig? This looks like the spot. Can I dig? How do I dig under tile? I'm kind of surprised it didn't force me to build like a green room or something. Unless this has me go like down into another area? Wait, what the fuck? There's multiple. One of the lost coffers of Mount Holly. It contains, okay. So I thought that might be some like lore item that was just, oh, that's cool actually. Look, they added special logic because I'm in the kitchen that actually moved the tile. I'm actually really impressed by that. They didn't just put like a generic dirt patch. They actually added something custom for that. Okay, so with the boiler room, by the way, that also patches through security. I would love to build a pump room. A pump room that is adjacent to the boiler room. Which is not seeming very likely. I think maybe I just abandoned that right away. That just doesn't seem likely. Also, I need to figure out how to get boiler room power down into the basement. But I'm not sure how to do that either. What am I even doing this run? I mean, I got a treasure map. That's something I haven't done before. That's some kind of progress. Build a library. Coupon book. Excellent, when I'm going to be losing all my money to the curse. Oh, there's more of these now. Yeah, there's definitely more than there was before. So I've already read this. And I think, and that, and this. I guess we'll do history of Arindia. Because Arindia is the name of like one of the goddesses in the chapel room. Maybe that has some significance. Mail room, bookshop, I want a bookshop, but I'm not going to have enough money to buy anything. I guess I can just try to farm some money, but it just doesn't seem likely today. To be honest, because I'm coming into this with a curse, I'm kind of not putting a lot of stock in making much progress here regardless. At the very least, it'd be nice to build this. Also, that reminds me, I don't know if the drafting strategy appeared in there, shouldn't it? Oh, it makes it, like, orderable, I guess? So you don't just get it? Oh, it makes it... That's why there's more, because it makes it that you can check it out. You don't just get the book directly. Wow, that's kind of a scam. You have to pay to get the ability to order the book. I mean, I can still aim to build, like, a master bedroom, or the morning room. I want to build the morning room, too. So I guess just the more slots I can keep alive, the better here. Pool is fine. Pool's actually good because theoretically I could now go back to security and I could build a pump room right here. That's like the only chance I have at making that happen this run. Can't get in there. Let's start working my way back down. All of these cut me off. So if all of these cut me off, I'd rather observatory. Get a bunch of stuff out of it. I'm not sure I want dead-end rooms to be more common today. Unless the morning room is a dead-end room. Okay, I'll just continue and then I'll work my way back around at some point to go outside. If I built a furnace, and I could potentially try to build a freezer right here. And all of these basically cut me off, so I'm going to build a furnace. And I'll pop in here with the shovel. Okay, I mean, it's probably worth. I never noticed that this had power. I'm going to write that down. First thing I've written down today in this game. Well, I wonder what happens if I get boiler room. So now I need to try to get boiler room power to the pump room and the furnace room. And downstairs, although I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I never noticed that. Like, it's clearly going directly into this thing. So presumably it just, you know, heats it up even more for some reason. Okay, so I want to build a freezer here. It seems unlikely that I'll get it. But maybe I get lucky if I come back with a key. Can I change my selection? Fine. Okay, so... instead of going up, I think maybe it makes more sense to pop outside right now, but that's also going to cost me a fair number of steps to get out. Let me do that anyway, and then accumulate some resources. This curse seems to only apply when you build things, and I'll just go ahead and do this. Every box is black. Well, that's a lie. Okay. That's a lie, so this is true. The statement on one of the other two boxes would be true. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, this wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. So anyway, this is a lie, right? Because every box is not black. This is a lie. Let me read this. The statement on one of the other two boxes would be true if you replace the word every with the word this. And this is a true statement, by the way. Because these two are false, this is true. So that also tells me that one of the other two statements would be true if you replace the word every with the word this. So if this said this box contains gems, then it has it. This box is black would still be false. So this has to be it. This has to be it. Sweet. Thanks for the gems. And I'll buy a banana. Can I buy multiple bananas? Oh. Oh, the coupon book. Oh, the coupon book. It's for 1 coin each? Oh my god. I just scarfed down 4 entire bananas in 1 second. At this point, I'm still just holding out hope that I get either a freezer here or a pump room here. We'll see whether that ends up being the case. And it'll cost me 6 steps to go build an outer room. What am I even hoping for over here? The tomb would be bad. Trading post would be pointless. I mean, I guess maybe I could trade like the treasure map or something, since I don't need that anymore, or the coupon book I don't really care about. So trading post actually wouldn't be bad. Speak of the devil. I don't have a ton of steps. Let's do a trading post, see if I can't trade away some of these crappier items. Ah, damn. I was kind of hoping that the money would still be here every time. Also, I have not found a single clue as to how to solve these at all. Okay, what can I trade? You can have my treasure map. Can I, like... Okay, I mean, whatever, I'll take it. I'd rather have the car keys, right? Can I trade my car keys for salt? Yes, I'll take that. Okay, I don't think I realized you could trade multiple times. So coupon book would be good if I go back through the kitchen. Maybe I hold on to that. I think I don't care about the compass. I'd rather have some dice. No. No. Let's keep this stuff. Not a terrible trade, TBH. I still feel like I can get up there somehow. Some secret. There's some secret, like if I build an attic over here or something. Okay, so I want to build some of these rooms because I have salt now, but I still have very few resources, and I want a key to get up here. I could build a vault and get 40 coins and then go buy a book. I think that's the play. Also, this is good because if I happen to get lucky enough... And we're into December. If I happen to get lucky enough to open up one of these safety deposit boxes, I found 2 different safety deposit keys in total so far. Also, I'm just racing through all the remaining puzzles I've left. There's the music sheet puzzle, where I have 7 of the words, and I need to remember where sheet 5 was. Clearly it's going to mean something that I haven't built in a little while. Okay, cool. So that did cut me off there, but I think that's still worth it. I'll work my way around to the bookshop shortly. Ideally, I get something... I'm going to go to the archives. Let me redraw these, actually. I'd rather have something that brings me right. Not the freezer here. I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. I should have saved my redraw. So I'm going to do this to get... Actually, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to get items and continue. Unfortunately, I don't have a key, so that's really bad. Maybe I shouldn't have cut myself off on both. Actually, that might be really bad. Crap. Well, I'll go to the bookshop, and I'll order a book. I don't know that I'm using my steps optimally here. Here we go. The Curse of Blackbridge. Cool. Wait, the coupon book applies in here? Didn't think it did. So I can't build that up there yet because I need a key. Can I change what I ordered? I'd rather have this. Yeah, thank you. And I just have to hope that this isn't locked, first of all. Are you fucking kidding me? I think this was locked too, wasn't it? The pantry? Okay, so my last chance is that I dig up a key. from below. I guess this run was always going to suck with that curse. Okay, nothing. So now I think the run is well and truly dead. Locked, locked, locked. So much for my grand plans. And there's nothing that I can do. What can I do? Nah, I'm out. I'm out. Call it a day. Okay, I won't be cursed this run, so that'll help. It's just the little bits of progression are becoming kind of sparser and sparser as I go. Like, what did I do that run? I unlocked a book, which I also ordered, so that'll be in the library next time. That's good. Two. It's going to be 16 minus 15 is 1. That's 25 minus 15 is 10. Okay, 5 plus 10 is 15. Minus 20 is negative. This is the same thing again. This is 5. Yeah, I've actually seen that arrangement before. Okay. First time I think I've had a square on the multiplier. We have 20 divided by 3? Huh? Is it now expecting me to do integer division? I mean, I can do it, but is that what it wants me to do? Right? Because operator precedence. So 20 divided by 3, I think I have to call that 6. Unless it wants me to do it like actual decimal. Like it wants me to do it as 6 2/3. Which you then multiply by 3, which gets you up to 20. Which you then square. Wait, what? Color me confused. Operator precedence goes from inside to outside. I know what the colors mean. And so far, the square operator has always been after you do it. So if I'm looking at this right, it might be that I'm just supposed to do 20 over 3 is 6 2/3, right? It's introducing fractions now. You multiply that by 3. And that gets you 20 again. At which point you square it, which is 400. And then you divide by 3? I mean, if I have to, I'll just brute force every number, but what these rules, this is giving me a nonsense number based on the rules I understand. Wait, why did I start 20? Oh my god. Okay, ignore this. I'm an idiot. For some reason I was just, it was vertical, so I was staring at 20. Okay, I'm dumb. Disregard everything. 3 divided by 3 is 1, times 3 squared is 9, divided by 3 is 3. My god, that was, talk about a brain fart. I'll take a west hallway. Maybe I need to start being more strategic. I mean, what I'm doing certainly has strategy to it, but like maybe building the drawing room there was a mistake. Since increasingly I need to build specific rooms in specific spots, it would be more advantageous for me to save the drawing pool for when I really need it. I also tend to build, nooks and stuff really early, which makes sense because it gets me early resources. But those might be more useful later as like a kind of more guaranteed way to get a curve. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe I'm doing just fine. Dark room. Let's do a dark room. And I'm going to pop inside to kill the lights. And then back away and hope that I can find a breaker room somewhere else as I work my way back anyway. Whenever you draw it, you may rotate floor plans. I'm not sure I want to rotate floor plans. We'll just do the pantry. This I can probably buy. I'm going to do this because I would like to buy bacon and eggs to put the morning room in the draft pool. I've still never... I don't think I've ever even seen a morning room come up as an option. If I see it, I'm building it instantly without even a moment's hesitation. I'm going to build the dining room, but I'm going to turn around first. Since I feel like when I go up here, I'm going to end up being trapped up there for a while. Yeah, I'd rather kind of build this out a little more, work my way back to spawn. Let's get the chapel out of the way here. But the chapel's kind of nice to have later on, though, just for more progression. Let's do this. Spend 1 gem, get 2 gems out of it, and hopefully get an item. Yes, thank you. And getting the metal detector in specific is really nice, because it lets me build that laser tool that I never remember the name of for some reason. Do parlor. I still feel like, okay, yet again, I still feel like I want to just hold on to this. Because I really feel like I'm going to be able to combine this wind-up key with some other item. Let's go see what the hidden room is. Two special items. It's hard to compete with red room protection, but I'm going to focus on special items. What is the wrench? I've never gotten the wrench before. An adjustable gear wrench. Each time you draft a mechanical room, you may permanently adjust its... What the fuck? Permanently adjust its rarity? So I can make something like the boiler room common now. Or the pump room common. If that item is included as... let me back up before I finish that sentence. One arguable problem with this game that I've seen just a few folks chatting about on Blue Sky is that the further you get in the game, the more you need specific kinds of RNG in order to make progress, which leads to a lot of tedium, right? You just have to grind over and over and over again, which kind of sucks. Something like the wrench might be a very clever way to alleviate that, because now every time I build like a boiler room, I can say just make it common. Right, and I can do that for security as well, right? I can say security, and... oh, that's a cool... I mean, and I can just make it commonplace, right? Why not? Security's not the most useful thing. But I mean... I don't actually know that I want to make this commonplace because... Because why? Because it really only has a lot of value in combination with the breaker room, and the breaker room's a dead end, and I don't like building it. I feel like maybe I'm okay leaving this as being standard. Like, I don't need this one in specific to be a lot more common. So I'm just gonna continue, actually. I certainly don't need it to be rare. I I mean, I could just make them all commonplace, since they tend to have a lot of connections and stuff anyway. You know what, fuck it, let's just make them all commonplace. Offline mode, unlocked. I'll just leave the security level at medium, that seems fine. Maybe I get lucky with a breaker room. Furnace to be a mistake here. Den, much, much better. I wonder if there's more permanent upgrades in this game. Like, there's a lot that they could add. Like, imagine you have a tool that permanently lets you rotate floor plans. Like, that would do a lot to alleviate the tedium. And maybe that does exist. I don't know. There's enough left in the game. Morning room. I gotta build this. Tomorrow you will start with 2. I mean, I hate cutting myself off here. But I've never built a morning room, so I gotta see what's in here. Here we go. Oh, also, kind of pisses me off. You can't get your gem until you come back a second time into here. It's kind of crap. Okay, there's some gems. What do we have? Upgrade disc, cool. What's this? The Baron of Mount Holly names nephew provisional heir. November 5th. In the blue hours of Wednesday morning, the venerable Baron of Mount Holly, Herbert S. Sinclair, passed away at the ripe age of 73 after a prolonged struggle with a heart condition that had been kept from the public eye until his final days. Esteemed as a pillar of society and renowned for his penchant for crafting puzzles, he was a source of endless fascination to our readers over the years, not least through his popular column Baron Bafflers, which he penned for over a decade. Cool. The particulars of the announcement of his successor yesterday has left his devoted followers with one last intrigue to ponder. The reading of his will precipitated a flurry of speculation, for his niece and presumptive heir, the much beloved and lamented Mary Matthew Jones, has been missing, presumed deceased for the past 6 years. Mrs. Jones, better known to her readers by her pen name Marian Marigold, enchanted the hearts and minds of children across the realm with her literary creations, such as The Red Prince, Swinburne, and A New Clue. Her disappearance remains one of the age's most tragic mysteries. With her whereabouts unknown, it was Marigold's own son, Simon P. Jones, a lad of but 14 summers, who was yesterday named the provisional heir to the sprawling Cinca Empire. Okay, I didn't actually know that he owned Cinca in this world. That's cool. However, this vast inheritance is accompanied by an undisclosed contractual condition. Given the Baron's well-known penchant for tests of mettle and wit, it's clear that the young heir from Reddington, distinguished in his own right at last year's County Science Fair runner-up, faces an extraordinary challenge in the coming weeks. More to follow. Okay, anything else in here? This rare room that I finally got to build once. I'm surprised I can't, like, interact with the sunflower. That seems like a pretty conspicuous object chilling there. Okay, well, hey. Kind of sucks I cut myself off, but it was worth it to build a morning room. So I'll pop back through security and put in the upgrade disc. That's good. The closet kind of sucks. What do we get? +1 extra item if drafted adjoined to a hallway. +2 extra items if drafted adjoined to a bedroom. +4 extra if drafted adjoined to a red room. But that's 0 and 4. So I'm going to do one of these two. I feel like hallways, this seems more likely to me. Because you tend to build hallways have more entrances, but this could be pretty cool too. The problem is that I don't build all that many bedrooms. Many of them are already dead ends. And for the ones that aren't, it's not likely that I would build a closet and cut myself off again. But I really like having 2 extra items instead of 1. I guess the question is, do I want 2 extra items? But I'm just not likely to actually build it. I think this is the play. Even though it's tempting to go for 2 extra items, I'm much more likely to build a closet off of... But I really want this one. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I want 2. 2 is a greater number than 1. Okay. Moving right along. I'm going to just continue holding on to this wind-up key that I haven't used yet. Since I have the gear wrench this run, I would really love to build a coat check. Because checking this gear wrench seems extremely powerful, and this is the first time I've ever seen it. I should have gone through the dining room. Okay, I'm just gonna gamble. Shit. Well, see what's in here. Okay, so here it makes sense to not go through the dark room, which I can't anyway, it's locked. Instead, go up through the dining room. Because if I don't, then the run is bricked, and I don't want the run to be bricked because I want to do more. Thank you. Corridor gets me somewhere, so does commissary. I think commissary is probably the play here. Because then I have the potential to get into the foundation and get access to more entrances instead of just one. So let's do that. I just got 10 steps for that. Why did I get 10 more steps for that, huh? 5 coins gets me Jack. So I need something that connects to the foundation. I mean, I don't need. I would very much like something that connects to the foundation. Well, that'll work. That will work. From here, I'm going to start building down first. Never mind, I'm not. Laboratory gets me more stuff. Coat check would mean that I can stash my wrench for another time. Let's build the lab. I want to build an experiment and continue. Oh, right, this is that too. So let's make this commonplace. The other reason why I want to make all of these commonplace is that when I build the mechanarium, I can get more entrances out of it. What do you have for me today? Experiment machine. Yes. Immediately, a letter will be delivered. Add a small chest. Gain these things. That seems really bad. Gain just one of them immediately. Whenever you spend 2 or more gems, each time you unlock a security door. So if I found... I think I want to do this. Do this. Combine. I did that because I am building downward back into the corner here, where when I'm building in this direction, it makes a lot more sense to intentionally cut myself off with something like a breaker room. At which point I could start getting past security doors pretty frequently. Walk-in closet, gotta build the library. So now I can read that book that I ordered last time. And what do we have here? Treasure map? That's 5 up on the left. Have I been there? I already have, actually. And I have the shovel, so I can head back over there later. I'm the only one to borrow this? The Curse of Blackbridge? This book was graciously gifted by... Oh, right, because I bought it. Forward, the legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm, for versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and, as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seems an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet, the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive edition of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Part 1, The Berry Picker from Oris. So this is a book I had to spend 40 gold on. I hope it gives me something actually useful and not just lore. Oh my god, I'm just... Jesus Christ. Oh my god. This is... that's so long. I could read it just by myself. That'd be faster than reading it out loud. But it would be a really boring part of the stream. I guess I'm just going to do it. Here we go. Strap in. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, highway robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take an easy road out, an easy and well-traveled road paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentry lands where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, the notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. They sound kind of cool, TBH. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he worked alone while the others slept soundly tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry of being chastised or tearing upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience had its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. God, I really hope that this book actually is not just a random story. I'm going to be pretty pissed if it's just a random story that doesn't give me a clue. Maybe I should stop reading it out loud because it's going to take forever. Maybe I'll just kind of skim it. Red dots. I can't decide whether I want to read it or not. It's so long. I'm not seeing anything like bolded just as I'm scanning through it really quickly. But like also I want to read this because like I don't know, I'm frustrated. This game's awesome. Maybe I'm not going to go through and like 100% it if this is the kind of stuff I have to churn through. Because I had to spend 40 gold on this and then order in the library and then build another library to get it, and my reward is apparently just a story. Okay, I'm just going to keep going, whatever. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute this success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the hounds of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by two beautiful white horses, and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy he pulled his rein with such effect that the noble steeds slid to a sudden halt with precise control. "You, boy, get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death, coming round the bend of my own drive and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face." Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries." Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. Man, I'm trying to breathe here. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. "Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy." Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. "I know, and what luck I found them. I have only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number." The driver bent down for a closer look. "And where's your home, boy? It must be quite far." Jesper replied with a scripted response. "A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods." "My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all this way only this morning." It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. "Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself?" Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. "In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far, and even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward." It was Jesper's time to smile. "Then let my efforts reward us both today." He raised the basket even higher. "A taste in memory of your youth, sir." What a nice lad. The driver chuckled and removed one glove. God, man, I sympathize with audiobook readers now. Let me get some water. Am I really going to read all of this? Are there pictures that are going to tell me something? Because, like, this is the cool story, but I'm playing a video game right now. I think these are the stories of these people in the chapel, maybe? I don't know, man. I mean, again, I spent 40 coins to get this. I feel like I should read it. I'm not going to read all of this out loud. It's too long. It's way too long. Yeah. Let me just scan through it. Whatever. I'm a little frustrated. I'm gonna just kind of scan through. That is far. Okay, I did all this. Okay. Da 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 da. Wait, what the fuck? Did they just kill him? And at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eye, and for my taste, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth. Oh, he didn't kill him. He just put the knife to his neck. Da, 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 da. Capable of speaking. Okay. I will not kill you if you give me no cause, though I admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Damn. What a bastard. Jesper's kind of mean. Who knew? Yeah, I mean, again, it's... If this was like a book in Skyrim, I wouldn't read it. But because it's in... It's not just because it's in Blueprints, but because I had to unlock the bookshop and then spend 40 coins to unlock this book and then order it. This isn't even something I can easily revisit. Okay, so I'm just going to scan through. There's a lockbox in the carriage. Jesper told him to get down. Okay. If there's no lockbox, there will be no clemency, so he's just robbing the guy. Da, da, da. Was not a Livyard servant, but the employee of some greater master. A large wooden lockbox, okay. He dislodges it. 2 observations, totemic symbols found carved on all 4 sides, okay. Not created by Orindian hands. This is actually kind of inspiring some of my own game ideas, funnily enough, as I'm scanning through the story. I mean, the fact that this is talking about the ancient realms, there's a trophy to get all 8 realms, and there's that realm guide I found underground. And I've found 0 of them, and I have no earthly idea what it even means to, like, unlock realms or what that looks like. Okay, so there's a padlock. Yeah, I agree. This game, for as good as it is, it isn't perfect. For example, I complained the other day, and actually a friend, unprompted, said the same thing to me once, like, oh, a genuine criticism of the game is ridiculous that you can't save mid-run. Like, that's inexcusable and something that they really need to patch in. There is no key to that box, okay? We got a stone. He broke the lock with a rock. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed. Okay. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Okay, so Jesper's cursed. Just the last thing I'll say is, it's, as I'm just thinking about this, like, I've said a time or 3 now that I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stream this game. This game's amazing, but I've already reached room 46, and there's plenty of mysteries left. What worries me is that if I can't solve the puzzles, if there aren't reasonable clues, then it might be the case that I'm just, like, wasting my time. Like, it's not a puzzle anymore if I'm just doing random shit hoping something happens, right? I need to be able to work with some deliberation. And so the further I get and the fewer puzzles remain, the less I care about spoilers, which I think is a pretty understandable reaction. It's not that I'm going to go explicitly look up spoilers, but, like, you know, the more time I spend in this game, I'm not so worried about watching other people anymore. I've already done a lot of this game by myself, especially if the game is going to expect me to do stuff like this to try to figure out how to solve more puzzles, which I don't know whether that's true. This may or may not have anything to do with puzzles. Okay, let me continue. What is it? That's one. One what, you mumbling agenter. Why have you no purse on your person, okay? One pace. 12 more and you will be dead. Oh my god. That is hardcore. Okay, so we took the thing and hit him. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? Okay. A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. Right. 12 steps is nothing. But he doesn't want to be discovered beside a body. It's unclear whether he killed the guy or just kind of knocked him out cold. Mm-hmm. A miracle materialized before him. 2 white horses and a carriage with gold trim. Right. Right, that makes sense. If he can get in there, he doesn't have to take 12 steps. Okay. There are certainly parallels in this story with what I'm doing, trying to calculate my steps. So we took 4 steps, okay? Mm-hmm. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? Okay. Okay. So now we're going below the Black Bridge. Who's Miller? Okay. Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's just kind of strange to me. I've heard a lot of talk of how this game combines kind of disparate mechanics in a way that's pretty unique, which is true, right? Most notably the roguelike room building in combination with fixed puzzles. But then you have stuff like this, and it's like, this is a puzzle game, and I'm in the end game where I'm trying to find out all these secrets, and I'm trying to grasp at any clues that I can find, and then you give me a massive book that I had to go out of my way to get. It is very reasonable to assume that there's a clue in here. But I mean, that's... But then there probably isn't, because it would be ridiculous to say, hey, meticulously read this book, which it's not long if it was an actual book, but for a video game book, it's very long. Okay. So this is just a completely different person now. As a bow. So this person lived in a canyon and got up and is on watch. I think Ravia was one of the names of... No, actually it wasn't. Also, none of the maidens have a bow. Okay. Just some details about staying quiet, I guess. What are they in a quiet place? Okay. They're friends with Ravia. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. Oh, she's one of the unholy hounds too. Okay, I see. And there's a cave under the bridge. She had felt camaraderie before, but intimacy never. Okay. Blackbridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Orris to Reddington. Okay. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Sure, so they're going to just rob people. Makes sense. Okay. Still just kind of scanning through. Mm-hmm. So they heard the sounds of approach. I wonder who this is going to be. 2 men emerged from the bridge's southern end. Okay. She's been there for 5 years. They did not sound like a typical carriage cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road gravel, they heard the harsh chattering of hoofbeats against stone. So this will be Jesper. The horses were coming from below the bridge. Okay. Knocks an arrow in her bow. And they thought the base had been compromised. So it isn't true. It's just Jesper coming back. Okay. Damn, so she just hit them? What a shot. She loosed 3 arrows and hit some random person on like a haphazard bumpy road. And then it shattered as it slammed into the walls. Okay. Okay, the Unholy Hounds came out. Oh, yep, they made a mistake. They killed Jesper. The cheat Joffrey Heartslasher, what a name. Damn. Da da da. Yep, there's that effigy. And there's the guy. Oh, they were friends. Okay. So he's just dead. So I guess he didn't die from paces. That's interesting. Was this like a 5D chess move that the posh original driver guy made? Like, if I tell you you're cursed, you're gonna take my horses back and then get shot by your own people? Hi, Pixel. Can you lay down? Hello. I think this is a really boring part of the stream, but it's not my fault. Okay. He was interred with a berry basket in a silk handkerchief. The mysterious effigy was there. I wonder if the effigy is going to curse someone else. Where's my fucking cursor? It's like, it's so faint you can barely see it. Good, I'm glad you're not. I'm glad. Yeah, and Rain, that's something that Rian, that's something that I mentioned a little earlier, and I've seen a few folks talking about, is like, this game has such a density of puzzles that it's really, really fun for a long time. And I'm still having fun, maybe not this exact second, but mostly I'm still having fun with this game. The problem is that I increasingly need specific arrangements of rooms to test out theories, and it's an RNG game, so I have very limited control over when that's going to happen. Which leads to a lot of tedium. Okay, so I'm just continuing. Okay. The girls have forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. Alright, so the Blackguard came down and found them. What the fuck? I spent 40 gold on this and 50 hours of my time reading it. And I just get a story where a guy was a thief and then he robbed someone and murdered him and was cursed, or at least was told he was cursed, and then took the horses back and then died. And then because of the ruckus, the Blackguard came and caught them. That's my reward? No clue. No. So see, that makes me not want to bother buying the other books, but like, what else am I gonna do? This is the problem, is you've sort of broken my trust. I don't know that I've ever been in the study. No, I have. Never mind. I've been in here once before. Did I know that there was one in the study here? I think I did. Again, not to... Let me just glance around here and see if there's anything. Not to beat a dead horse, but I'm just increasingly sort of feeling disillusioned with the game, I suppose. Not for any of the good parts that have happened. It's not like my kind of annoyance here takes away from that, but, you know, like, what do I have remaining? well, mainly I'm just trying random things. That's a hard part. It's like, okay, I need to get power down to the basement, but I'm not sure how. I need to solve the chess puzzle, but I don't have any reasonable clues on how to do that. I need to solve the safes, but I don't have any reasonable clues on how to do that. I need to melt shit in the freezer, which I suspect will happen if I build a furnace next to it, but I don't know. And I mean, I need to get pretty lucky to be able to build a furnace next to a freezer anyway, never mind do that while also getting boiler room power into it. And if my answer is just grind a lot of random shit, at some point it becomes more feasible to just look it up. Okay, let's head up. I feel like, I don't know for sure, because of course I have not solved all the puzzles in this game. I feel like some of the puzzles in this game require far too much of a leap of logic. Like, the safes are driving me crazy because I have absolutely no idea. To my knowledge, I've received 0. The only clue that I have related to safes is that 44-character message spelled out in the study, which says, if we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. But what the fuck does that mean, if we count small gates? What small gates? What do you mean count them? There's one small gate outside. That's it. But then presumably there's a comma there. It says 8 dates crack 8 safes. There aren't 8 safes, there's 3. At least 3 that I've found. And if 8 dates crack 8 safes, that doesn't tell me which dates or which parts of those dates or which dates crack a specific safe, and also what's up with the first part with counting small gates. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So my suspicion is that somewhere else in the game, there's going to be another clue which helps clarify, but the problem is that I have no way of knowing where the hell that might be. Right? I'm just doing stuff at random. And as I said, at the point where I'm doing stuff at random, that's not puzzle solving anymore. That's just vibing and hoping for a bit of progression. And by the way, I'm done here. Kind of got unlucky this time. I'm not going to be done quite yet, but I don't know. No use continuing to bitch about it. I'll just say the same thing over and over again. Well, it's a complex problem. Like, I'm perfectly happy to trudge through quite a bit of gameplay, but a number of things have to be true. Number one, I have to feel like I'm making progress and not just stumbling through the dark randomly. And as I said, that's one of the problems right now, because even the number of things that I want to try, like building a furnace next to a freezer, I suspect that'll work, but it might not. Right? And if it doesn't, then I'm back to square zero. I still need to open those 3x3 puzzles. I still need to open safes. And I have no earthly idea, so I'm just hoping I luck into it. Additionally, and this is, I think, the more damning factor, is I don't know what the rewards are going to be. And I'm worried that the rewards are going to be more shit like that book. And that's another problem, reason why that kind of book I think is so... Maybe I'll change my mind on this later, but at least my immediate impression is that that's a pretty poor piece of design. Because, like I said, now I don't want to waste more money buying more books. Because what if I just get a random story that has nothing to do with anything? Like, I understand that it thematically connects here, but like in terms of the mechanics of the puzzles, it doesn't tell me anything. And so if that's going to be true, then I'm even less likely to want to trudge through and actually... Like, I have 1 red letter. And apparently there's at least 7? I don't know. Building another Rumpus room would probably help. to me, the most appropriate solutions would be some of the permanent ones, because I found the permanent rewards that I've found, like the allowances and starting with 2 gems and whatnot, to be extremely motivating rewards. And there's a lot more that I could get. Right? Imagine I got something that just started me with 5 keys every time, or something that lets me permanently rotate rooms, like very powerful upgrades, which you can safely give to the player in the late game because they've already kind of proven their mettle. If the game had shit like that, then I would be more than willing to continue doing this and work towards the end game secrets. But I don't know how much I trust this game to reward that curiosity anymore. And that's what worries me. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just gonna hold on to that, honestly. Let's go outside. Well, and it's a lot of small issues that become more important when you have to repeat them over and over again. That's one of those fundamental game design tenets that honestly is just kind of true to life as well. It's like a small problem repeated over and over again becomes a really massive problem. I don't even have any items. No use going in there. So it's like the fact that I have to walk out here and go open that up. And it doesn't take very long, but I mean, it probably takes, what, like 20 seconds to run over there? Maybe a little less. So it's like, what if there was something that says you permanently increase your movement speed by 2 times? What if you got some bulldozer thing that lets you completely remake a room? You could brainstorm, I mean, it's roguelike gameplay, you could brainstorm an enormous number of creative rewards. Yeah, there's a lot that you can do, and again, those are rewards that you can safely give players in the end game after they've already proven their mettle. We'll see. I mean, worst case scenario, I just either stop playing or maybe start playing it more casually. Like, I haven't played this game offline at all. Right? It wouldn't be so bad if I just popped on and did like a day or 2 quickly. Whereas when I stream, I tend to want to do like a, more meaty chunk of like 2 to 4 hours. Just kind of arbitrarily. Like the fact that I have to click through those every single time. It's a small thing, but if you're going to ask me to do dozens and dozens of runs, oh my god, the run's dead. Wow, look at this luck. All 3 of these cut me off. Okay, well, I mean, I shouldn't have done this. I should have done the parlor. Whatever. I'll do this just to tick up the number. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Okay, 20 plus 3 is 23, minus 3 is 20, times 3 is 60, divided by 6 is 10. 1 squared is 1, times 30 is 30, divided by 15 is 2. 18 minus 21 is negative... Wait a minute, no, 18 squared? What's 18 squared? I'm gonna pull out a calculator for that. 18 squared is 324. That's 303. Wait, what? I'm messing something up here. Oh, I thought it was 13. Okay, I'm done. That's 81 minus 21 is 66. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, like, bam, just expecting me to know my multiplication tables up through 18. Damn, okay. Well, I got extremely fucking unlucky there. See, this is what I mean. It's kind of like this, in my opinion, shouldn't really happen at all. I'm on day 32. And now it would also be difficult... Oh, one sec. My cat wants to come sit down, I think. Hi, buddy. It would also be difficult to tailor the RNG to guarantee that this can't happen, especially because players might just choose rooms that are kind of a poor fit and wall themselves off. But that's where something like, I don't know, a bulldozer, like I said, that lets me get out of a room, or some secret entrance that lets me start at the foundation, or what have you. I feel like there's a number of tricks. Also, actually, now I'm wondering if it's possible to start at the foundation. I don't think it is, actually. You know what would have helped, actually? Maybe this isn't fair. I mean, I know it's just like, hey, have you considered adding even more to the game? One way in which this game succeeds, in my opinion, is that right off the bat, you know what your objective is. You're trying to get to room 46. So not only do you know what your objective is, but that objective is mysterious and enigmatic and strange, which very much fits with the vibe of the game, right? It's a very strong motivator to continue, where as you're exploring all these other mysteries, you have this looming, get inside the antechamber, get into room 46 thing. But now that I've been there, I don't have that anymore. So like off the top of my head, imagine that after the credits, I didn't just start a new day. Instead, I spawned inside room 46. Like, it didn't kill my run. I just got to actually go into room 46. And then in there was more information that talked about realms, and then it could get even more mysterious and strange. And, you know, that could be your motivation to continue playing. But as it stands, all of this feels like post-game content. But there's nothing wrong with post-game content. There's nothing wrong with achievement hunting. But some of this stuff is, you know, just achievement hunting, right? Just do 40 dartboard puzzles, do 40 parlor games, whatever. But a lot of these other ones are sizable puzzles. Like, how do you get inside the safes? What's up with the torch puzzle? How do you get, how do you unfreeze the freezer? These are pretty important puzzles. Actually, I don't need to. The fountain door is already unlocked. Once I've opened it with the basement cube once, I determined by going down the foundation it's already open. The problem is that once I go down there, I can't currently get across. Let me think about this. Yeah, I can't currently. That'd be interesting, actually. I can't currently get across the reservoir. No, I never drained the reservoir. I can't drain the reservoir until I get a pump room adjacent. My God, I forgot how to speak. Until I get a pump room that's powered by a boiler room. And that just hasn't been happening. I did get that wrench, which was super useful, and I could have used that to make like the boiler room and the pool room and the sauna room and stuff look really, really common, but the run bricked itself. I couldn't continue. Okay, 13. Diamond operator. That's new. Okay. Normally this is a square. What the hell does that mean? I don't think it's squared. If it was squared, 13 squared is it 169 or something like that? What's 13 times 13? Yeah, 169 minus 20 is 149 divided by 11. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but 13 square root doesn't make any sense here either. It's a good thought, to be clear, just it doesn't track. So far, it's only worked with integers. My next thought was that I have to flip the digits. So 31 minus 20 brings me down to 11 divided by 11 is 1. Is it that? It's that. It's flip the digits. kind of surprised I got that because there's no information. At least a square is like, okay, you square the number. Diamond doesn't mean anything. I mean, it isn't. I've said this a few times. It's impressive to me that these puzzles keep getting more complex. The problem is that there's no guidance. Like, even squaring, it wouldn't shock me if someone just didn't get that because there's no clues. So this would be 41 minus 1 is 40 divided by 20 is 2. And then here we have, so this is 24, so 42, and then 22, and then 2. I mean, it's also okay in a sense. Yeah, that's, again, I'm pretty lucky that that worked. Mostly it's just like, what can I do with one number, like 13? There's no other calculations. It's just do something with 13. My first thought was actually square root as well, but again, that doesn't work for 13. At least when you're dealing with integers. I thought I already built it then. No, I didn't. I always build to the west first. Maybe I should stop doing that. Go build somewhere else. Okay, I mean, I'll build the pool. Hopefully get to a point where I can build the boiler room. What the... where's my cursor? What's happening? I like clicked off the window or something. By the way, I'm still convinced that I can use this wind-up key to combine items, but like, this is what I mean. I would love to test that theory, but that means that I have to get a parlor room, which is pretty easy, and then also get a like a combination room. This would be a bad idea since it cuts me off, tempting as that is. I did have one idea to build an attic, like maybe down around here. It kind of seems like I could get up somewhere else, but again, that would be just a blind guess by the time I get there. Okay, build a pantry. Chapel makes sense. I'm increasingly hesitant to spend my money at commissaries either, because I really want to save up my money to use on like some of the higher end stuff at the casino or the showroom or the bookshop. This one pisses me off. At some point, probably sooner rather than later, I'm going to end up... I would love to get a hint, right? But the hard part about Googling these games is that it's very likely that you accidentally see something you didn't want to see. You know, I'm going to get some water. Be right back. Oh boy, I can get free viewers. Can you believe it? I wonder if anyone clicks on those. I mean, they'd be a fool not to, right? All those free viewers. This could be pretty good here. Actually, no, well, maybe. I really want to get into the center of the Chamber of Mirrors, which is possible this run, but we'll see how likely it is. Alternately get the Rotunda and just rotate it up. I want to do mirrors. Mirrors just is more interesting to me. Sounds in here are spooky. I need to get over there first. Got it. Away. I don't have the outer room right now. I'm going to backtrack early. If I could drain the reservoir... You know what? I wonder if you can drain the reservoir and take the boat, and you could take the boat to the other side. It might actually be possible to start the run from the foundation. I wonder if that's possible. Shrine. Hovel. Do a shrine. Kind of want to give it all of my money and just see, like, what I can get. Better give me something good. Blessing of the Monk. If you call it a day in a room in your house, you will have the opportunity to draft that room from the grounds the following day. For 4 days, I get this blessing. If you call it a day in a room in your house, you will have the opportunity to draft that room from the grounds. Okay. So that's amazing. See, that's the kind of mechanic I was talking about, where that is a really clever way to circumvent some of this RNG bullshit. But I also got that by random chance. By the way, you see that up there? Doesn't that look like something you could, like, step out onto with the boards there? Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I was kind of thinking if I built, like, an attic here in the corner, that I could get up higher. Maybe that would end up working. Okay, so... That means that this run, I want to call it a day in a room that I'd like to rebuild next time. So an obvious candidate there would be something like the pump room. Okay, definitely the drawing room. I'd love to build something that gets me in another entrance to the mirrors. So something with a left hook here. Draw it. Okay. Give me that commissary with no money. It does, but I don't know. It's certainly the sort of thing this game would do, I think. So I need to bank up to the right. I need to... Here's the pump room, but if I build the pump room, the run's over. So I can't do it. I could do this and try to do something like drain the pool, just to get at those items and then pump it back, but I mean, that wouldn't get me anything anyway, so no, definitely not that. Do the billiard room. I'm guessing the attic thing doesn't work. And also that would be difficult to set up. Okay. So this is 31, so it's 13. Interesting. I mean, this is a very interesting puzzle. I'm going to say that every single time I do one. So 9 times 9 is 81. Flippity flopped is 18. We have 13 plus 20 is 33. Minus 1 is 32, so that's 20. Wait a minute. Oh, it's... Why do I keep doing that? It's 4. So 24, so that's 23. So then 32 divided by 8 is 4. The funny thing for me is I really don't actually care about getting to the antechamber at all anymore. Because I've already unlocked both basement doors. At least I'm only aware of there being 2. Maybe. Although the blessing you get is dependent on money. Also, they really need to streamline this. I wish I had something that just says permanently set it to offline mode. I want to get into the mirrors. Give me some... Nope, fuck. Okay, well. I don't know, maybe you can. So I gotta do a West Wing Hall to keep it alive. I'll go down first, see if I can't gather up some more resources. I'm a little low on steps, at least by my current standards. Parlor will get me some gems. Let's do the observatory, that just gets me a lot of stuff. Alternately, the courtyard. Let's do courtyard. That'll get me another room after this, too. And a shovel, cool. Yeah, this shouldn't have a fade effect. This should be instant. This might be a good opportunity to do a pump room. I mean, I'm not going to get it next to a boiler room. Probably not, though. If I can keep building up, which the run might end up here. No, I'll save the pump room. I'll save the pump room. We'll do a lab instead. But the lab... yeah, I'll do a lab, whatever. Whatever. Any apples in here or anything? Each time you eat an apple, let's do this because I'm likely to eat more apples. Oh, here we go. Definitely the permanent one. So I would love to build a boudoir here and get 3 more gold to my allowance. What if you had like an allowance of like 100? Wouldn't that be neat? 100 pennies. What a fortune. So I need to get through there before I'm able to continue to the other side of the Chamber of Mirrors. Let's build a conference room because that gets me more entrances. Come on. So I would love a breaker room here. Breaker room would be fantastic. Okay, I'll take a key. That's excellent. Gotta build this. I think before I do that, let me go ahead and build this way, see if I get something more useful. What special keys do I have? No. Spreads keys throughout the house. That's not bad. Let's do the locker room. And now I will continue up. This is good because I can also build a dining room now. Some good options here. I have a lot of rooms remaining, so even if I can't get more progress in the Chamber of Mirrors, I could maybe get 40 gold and then go back to the... Well, no, I was going to say go back to the gift shop, but I need like 100 for that. I really wish I hadn't broken the chapel thing so early. I wonder if I can open up the chapel thing again once I get the 2 lasers. I probably can, actually. Again, the pump room would be nice, but it's really only useful to me if I can drain the reservoir, and I'm also curious to drain the aquarium. Do I have... No, I don't. Last run I had, or one of the previous runs, I had a vault key. There's at least 2 different safe deposit boxes I've gotten keys for that I've never been able to open. I could do this and then build like a kitchen. Or go back to the commissary, because I've seen a kitchen a few times. Pump room gets me in the right direction, but again, that's just really not useful to me until I get it paired with the boiler room. So I think I'm just going to go... To be honest, I don't know how useful that is. I think I'd rather have 10 steps. Loath as I am to give up 40 gold, I think I'd rather just have 10 steps. I still... This is blocked and so is this. Actually, no, I haven't gone into the locker room. These 2 are blocked. So I really need a breaker room. Speak of the devil, I should have built, should have gotten the money apparently. Casino gets me another room at the cost of 2 gems. I also want to build a trophy room, which I've never built. The library cuts me off here, so that's bad. I think I have to build this just to get access to another room. Is there any money in here? Oh, there's a lot of money in here. Cool. So I'm going to end up doing some gambling shortly, too. Let's see what's up here first. Is that my last key? Yep. I don't even know if I want these books. I just want more steps. Why are there... I can get multiple guest bedrooms? Okay, time to gamble. Let's wager 5. Wait, limit 1 wager per day. Wager 20. I lost this last time, but I'm not going to lose it this time. See? I got a bunch of keys. That's good because there's a locker room too. I wasn't even worried, personally. Alright, time to slot. Throwing all my money away in the gambling machine. Come on. Come on, this is worth 4 crowns. Machine's broken. Gambling sucks. Okay, back to the locker room. If the locker room is also blocked by a security door, then I am rude. Let me not open the lockers yet. I think I need to dark room just for the access, but I'm going to be blind is the problem. I really, really wanted to make more progress on the Chamber of Mirrors, but this is a security door, and so is this, so I need to be able to get past the security doors. Of course, it's possible that I randomly find a keycard in here, but that's not likely. If I could find this and then get something over here that lets me get access to the Foundation, that gets me access to more rooms as well. And also that gets me into the Chamber of Mirrors, so I think I gotta gamble on the dark room here. There's no key card here, right? Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna gamble. I think I'm gonna maybe gamble down here first because it's possible that I just randomly spawn a breaker room. Nope. This is kind of good though. This actually circumvents both. So let me do this before I build the other random room. I can first of all build down here. I want something that gets me access to that Hall of Mirrors, please. Okay, nothing, but I can build a Rumpus Room. That, I really did want another Rumpus Room. It does kind of really suck because I've never been able to get in all 4 entrances of a Chamber of Mirrors. But this is a good reward. So far, these Alzara clues have been pretty powerful, I think. Or at least interesting. Alright, what you got for me today, Alzara? Please give me something useful and not just garbage.
And, as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping.
The vibes in these cutscenes are immaculate, though.
You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future. The image is becoming clear. I hear the pattering steps of children running in the forest. The joyful echoes of laughter in the courtyard. I see an old man sitting in an even older chair. A seed that has served many generations, each with their own stories, each with their own secrets, each with their own endings, but all in the same chair. What you have heard here has
That was a
been
scam.
foreseen by the great Alzara.
I guess it clues you into, like, the existence of the tomb and stuff.
Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
I really thought that might actually give me a clue, but that was garbage. I mean, it was interesting, don't get me wrong, but also garbage. Which is especially frustrating because it also bricked me from getting into the Hall of Mirrors, which is not my fault, I just got bad luck. And I only have 2 keys, so I don't really want to gamble on going over here. But I mean, those are my options, just gamble or gamble. Let's go over here. Give me something good. That's going to lose half my steps. Wait, it loses half your steps when you build it? I didn't even go in there yet. Oh. Apparently it loses half your steps when you build it. Well, that gets me access to more. God, I was so close to getting in all 4 corners, though. All 4 corners, all 4 sides of the Hall of Mirrors. That really sucks. Like, I'm so curious. This has to be something important in the middle, right? I can see little scattered rewards, but, like, I really want to know what's in the middle there. That feels important. And I'm guessing that I have to press all of these buttons before I can get in there, so I think I don't even want to bother going around. I only have 16 steps left. Like, what am I going to do this run that's actually useful? I mean, I'll build an observatory, right, just to continue gathering up stars. That's a good point. Thank you for reminding me. That's a good point. Let me do Parlor just to do another Parlor game, right? Because I need to keep doing these. Where's my cursor going? It keeps disappearing. A box next to this box contains the gems. Nothing. A box next to this displays a false statement. So this is false. Because this does not display a false statement, because it doesn't display any statement. So this is false. If this is false, that means that one of these two has to be true, which means that this has to be true. A box next to this box contains the gems. It has to be this one. The gems must be in the white box. Thank you. I can do a little more building here. I mean, we'll see whether I get anything useful. I still have never built even one master bedroom. Here's what I want to do. I want to do this, and I want to use it to build a bedroom. And I want to see if it's the master bedroom. Really? How many steps to get back to the rumpus room? Not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll build an aquarium and see what the last one is, and then I'll go back. Green rooms are more likely to contain special flowers today. I've gotten that before. I don't think I've ever gotten that and then gone into a green room. This counts as a green room. Where's my flower? Okay, going back. So to get to the rumpus room, I just need to go around this way. I don't know what the special flowers are, and right now yeah, a little bit of scamming going on. Okay. Well, let's call it a day in this room. I want more predictions. Sports Jigsaw House of Games. That's quite the title. Look at the freaking casino, and that's also a weight room. Okay, primary objective this time, get another rumpus room. Which I guess I will guarantee exists. It said I can draft it from the grounds. What do you mean I can draft it from the grounds? Where's my drafting studio? Where's my outdoor drafting studio? I mean, maybe I have to go to my camp. I guess while I'm here, I'll just go do the outer room first, which I never do. Look at that. So that's what it means. You can just straight up build it here. That's insane. So weird. So weird. That's hilarious. I like that they have like the custom little like cut off doorway there. Okay. What you got for me, Alzara? Give me something juicy this time, please. I think the lighting was a little broken over here.
As it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
Oh, I recognize that.
Faintly in the mist, I see a figure.
Actually, I don't. Never mind.
A statue cradled in a courtyard of sentinel stone. You will find yourself one day wandering these paths, walking in the footsteps of the past,
Is this a real area?
wandering and waiting, searching for a shadow that will never be cast, longing for the day to end, the hours to pass. What you have heard.
What are these
here has
scam
been
fortunes?
foreseen by the great Alizar.
I mean, these cutscenes are cool. I really enjoy the vibes. It's just like one of them mentioned like missing letters, and it seemed like a lot more connected to the actual mechanical puzzles of the game. I mean, but it was also like elaborated, right? Like for example, it showed that moon door. Yeah, that would be fucked up. It showed that like crescent moon door, which is the door that gets you to room 46, but it showed it on like this beach in ruins, which is of course not where the door is. So it's pretty clear that Alzara embellishes the stories, right? But at least they still had a connection, right? I could understand that the crescent moon door is where I'm trying to get, and that there are all these letters. He clued me in to the drawings thing with the missing letters. So far, that's just given me nothing. Like the statue in the courtyard kind of reminds me of getting into the middle of the cloister, but I already know how to do that. I'm gonna go right this time. I always start left. And again, cool as those cutscenes are, it's kind of like, am I meant to actually be reading into those? Because I'm kind of desperate for clues here. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I do need to remember to make sure that I can get back out there, but I'll probably be able to do that. Early pool is nice. Get that potential pump room going early. Let's dip back here and go this way. Commissary. Well, I like getting into the corner, though. No, it's 3 days, so today and then 2 more days after. As before, I'm going to continue holding on to this wind-up key, even though I can obviously open it to get some gems, because I suspect I can use it in crafting items. And I haven't been able to actually build one of those crafting places in a long time now. And I tell you, I wouldn't complain about an upgrade to the bedroom, though. A commissary brings me in the right direction. What do we got? Shovel, salt shaker. Grab a gem. I'm a little low on gems. I'll buy 2 actually. Yeah, but I mean... You're right, but at least that's something concrete that I know I can get. So, like, if I let myself build... I'm trying to think, like, what could I even build out there that would be useful? I mean, potentially a lot of things, right? But at least that's something concrete. Remove some of the guesswork of the RNG. Well, I'm building a very haphazard house right now. Build a secret passage. I want a master bedroom, and I'm going to keep trying to get it. Because I've literally never built even one. Well, I'll do this and get some keys. You know, that's an interesting idea. Where would that actually bring me to? Do they have, like, special handling for that? That's a fucking good idea, if I'm being honest. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to try that. But that means I have to get there first. Not necessarily today, but I have to get there soon. Before the blessing expires. Let me just do this now. The gems are in this box. The gems are in a box next to this box. The gems are in the blue box. Okay. If this is true, then this is also true, which means this has to be false, which is a lie. The gems are in a box next to this box, so that's a contradiction. If this is false, that the gems are in this box, that means that this also has to be false, and that means that this has to be true, and since I know they're not here, they have to be here. Well, I mean, it depends how deep the secrets go. All of that would certainly require developer effort, but, like, imagine, for example, I know that when I go outside, there's those distant, like, cliff areas that I haven't been able to get to. What's to say that the way you get there isn't by forcing a foundation to spawn in the outer room and then go down? I don't think that's likely. Probably it just, like, brings you to the basement again in some time, in some warp or something, but, like, it's possible. I'm certainly curious enough to try it. And I'm so hesitant to build a pump room. One thing I could do would be to build a pump room and just lower... And just lower the reservoir by, like, 1. I'm sick of not building pump rooms. Let's just try it. I would like... What's in here? I would like to pump some out of the reservoir. I can't pump all of it. Is there more back over here or something? Okay, so here's the fountain. Actually, here's the reservoir. So these are all filled up. What I need to do instead... God, I wish I had power here. I need to pump back into the fountain. Maybe I'll go ahead and pump, like, out as much as I can, and maybe that'll at least let me see further into the reservoir. Actually, how much is... Yeah, no, I can't. I was gonna say that there's no way I can pump out enough to actually make this work. But if I'm gonna pump out a bunch, I might as well pump out a bunch. that it for now? Okay, so now we go to the reservoir. And I'm going to pump out. Wait, I'm going to pump out. Pump out. Wait, no, pump in. What? Am I just... Oh, whoops. I think I'm... No, that's the right one. There, okay, no, I was doing it wrong. Okay. I was gonna say, can you, like, not drain the reservoir? That'd be ridiculous. Okay, so there's some. We flip it around over here and drain some more. See, now I'm looking at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this has plenty of space in the reserve tank, too. Okay, well, I can at least see some of the reservoir being drained. I could also, like, drain the pool since I'm right here. Is that worth doing? I feel like that's just not worth doing. I mean, the trunks is nice. The trunks is nice. The trunks are nice. Maybe I'll do it if I have to. Foyer is always unlocked. Well, I gotta build that. This is a pretty cool room. I wish I understood if there was any importance to this. I feel like this is a room that I've seen featured in promotional screenshots. Well, I feel like I build the billiard room, right? Because if I build a dark room, then I'm just gambling. But that gives me 2 gambles. I'm just going to build the billiard room, hope I can get up. And I'll do the puzzle while I'm here. 11. 21 minus 20 is 1. 0, 1 times 20 is a whole different number. 1 plus 2 is 3. Times 7 is 21. Minus 15. Did I do that right? 3 times 7 is 21. Minus 15 is 6, so it just remains 6, I guess. What? So this was 1. This one is 20. Let me do that again. 1 plus 2 is 3. We go out. 3 times 7 is 21. Oh, whoops, I misread that. Okay, so it's actually 21 minus 5 is 16. So we flip that around to 61. Then you subtract 1 to 51 and then flip it again to get to 15. I'll take a keycard, though, which is going to be very useful unless I get bricked here anyway, which is a distinct possibility. Please don't brick me. Okay, well, I'm not bricked. I don't know that I ever noticed that there's a boat over there. I've never been out here. Maybe all the tall grass indicates that it's not possible. Okay, well, hey, I mean, I can get into the foundation. That's good. So I'll come back to this then, and I'll end the run here. Don't need the utility closet. Definitely can't build the passageway, or darkroom it is. At this point, I'm pretty much just building randomly for the sake of it. Okay, well, get some resources. May or may not matter. I can get some more steps out of the kitchen. That's kind of nice. Well, I know what that is. Do I have anything that I want to store? I don't really care about the broken lever, but I'd rather have some more runes still. Never mind. Okay. So there's no more rooms I can build. Before I end the run here, I should be able to go down and work my way over to the reservoir to see what those changes look like. This indicates to me that I could actually start the run in the Foundation if I worked my way over. If you also had a key card. That you could turn down and get the elevator and start here. Although I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, apart from the novelty of it. Because someone who's gotten here has almost certainly gotten to the antechamber already. Well, I was certainly right that draining the reservoir is an option. I still see the boat chilling over there. If I fully drain the reservoir... Oh, I see. Look, there's going to be a passageway over there. So this is now a top priority. I really, really want to get boiler power next to a pump room and drain the rest of this. I bet you could actually take that boat over here too, by the way, if you had it drained to just the right level. If you did that, then that would, with the help of the reserve tank, allow you to come over here and actually take the elevator up. I'm not sure how useful that would be, but it is something that you could do. Okay, so with that... And by the way, something here that drives me insane, there are power grids here. Like, there's power ducts, and there's a secret over there to get through the door, but I don't know how to get power down here. I built a boiler room, like, directly above this, and it didn't do anything. So I don't know how the fuck to get boiler room power down here, and I find it very frustrating that I don't know how. Okay. Is there anything else to do? No. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to call it a day out here. Ordinary villa. You're an ordinary villa. How dare you call my villa ordinary? I invested literal minutes, I'll have you know. I mean, it's just so tricky. Like, you're doing run after run. I'll get the allowance before I leave. I'm doing run after run. And there's all these... I've still never built a single master bedroom. I suspect that probably I can only build master bedrooms pretty close to the top. So that'll be something I'd like to do. But, like, there's all these combination rooms that can just be so difficult to build because they require such immense luck to get there. Okay. I mean, it let me build it. Obviously, the other doors are bricked. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Honestly, that's an elegant solution. Like, I'm pissed, but that does make sense that is what it would do. Yeah, I feel a little scammed, but I mean, I get it. I get it. It's a fair solution. I'm not happy about it, but it's fair. I wish they would have instead allowed me to take this down to another secret. I feel like I'm getting scammed a lot. Now, interestingly, this says it doesn't reset each day. It probably does, and they probably didn't update the text, but what if, like, I've permanently bricked my ability to get outer rooms now because it's always going to be that. Wouldn't that be something? That would be awful. Probably a good idea to start an experiment early. It sure did. Any of these? Okay, well, definitely I'm doing this one. What do I want? Whenever you draft an archive. So this could be good. If I can build an archive, I could just build a lot of these. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to hope that I find an archive. So that becomes my objective. Build an archive. I want to up that allowance. This is the rare example where a wine cellar actually makes sense. I feel like this is a room that should have more in it. There should be some secret. There's certainly room in the wine cellar. If you look over here, there's like a lot of room for like more secrets on this side. But nothing seems to work. Give me an archive. Damn it. Give me an archive. Okay, den is good. Opens things up. Take that. I mean, it is interesting. I mean, I have to imagine that's when the devs put that together, like, that's not a small design consideration. Like, wait, shit, suddenly we can have a duplicate room way outside the house. What does that mean, right? Running shoes not all that useful to me anymore. I mean, it's still kind of useful. I think I'd rather have... Well, but I can't build both of these. I think I'd rather have just a ton of gems. Damn it, no, where's the archive? Give me an archive. Yet again, I'm going to hold on to this, but I don't have any other items, really. I'm just going to do it, whatever. There are 2 false statements. This is the only true statement. The white box is empty. Okay, so none of these are obviously true or false. Let's see. So I guess let's just go in order. If there are 2 false statements, if this is true, then these 2 are both false. That means there's only 1 true statement. That's false. Wait, that's a contradiction. Because if this is true, that implies that there's only 1, and that means false. So this can't be true. This has to be false. So there are not 2 false statements. That means that there's 1 false statement, and this is the false statement, which means both of these are true. This is the only true... Wait, what? I'm confused myself. You could end on the entrance hall? I like your thinking. Definitely I'll experiment with that. I have 2 days left on it. Thinking, what would I guess another entrance hall, I wonder if that would get you another allowance. Huh. I really kind of want to build another antechamber. I want to see what that does. Although, actually, I kind of know what it would do. I think it would just immediately wall you off, right? Because the door would be closed. Let me figure this out again. If this is true that there are 2 false statements, then because this is true, the other two have to be false. And this thing saying this is the only true statement. Wait a minute, so that could still be true. So if this is true, then this is false, which is correct. This is not the only true statement. And this is false. The white box is empty. Which means that you get this. It could, that's true. And if this is false, so I think it's in the white box. If this is false, then I think it immediately contradicts itself, because if this statement is false, it means that there's exactly one false statement, and it's this one. Which means that the other two are true. And so saying this is the only true statement is false, so it has to be white. Are you kidding me? See, I feel like this is a sort of thing where maybe I'm just getting salty. I had a similar complaint in Slay the Spire, where even within a video game that has a lot of RNG, the great part is that it's actually not a card game, or in this game, it's not actually random. It is pseudo-random. It is random numbers generated by a computer, which means that they don't have to be truly random. They can be tilted in different directions, which this game obviously does in a lot of different ways. But it's like, come on. This really sucks that my options here were a dark room, and now that I built this, just all of them brick me here. Like, that's just really shit luck. And I mean, I guess that'll just happen, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes the RNG should... maybe the game would be a lot more fun if the RNG was tilted a little more in your favor sometimes. I'm sure someone's done that. Well, if this is dead anyway, honestly, I don't want to build a security room because I'm so tired. Maybe this is a good indication that maybe I shouldn't continue streaming this game. I don't want to build a security room just because I don't want to go through the trouble of going through the terminal yet again for like the 30th time. I'd rather just get some stuff. Not that it really matters, but also I kind of don't want this playthrough, like the recordings of it, to kind of end on a sour note, you know? With like 2 streams of me just kind of bitching about stuff not going my way. That would kind of suck. Also, I still really need to build the archive. If I can build the archive this run, I can get a lot of gold allowance. I think it's likely that I continue this game, but it might be that I just do it more off stream. We'll see. We'll see. 6. 10 times 10 is 100. Minus 9 is 91, so that's 19. 10 plus 8 is 18. Flippity-flopped is 81. Divided by 9 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. This must have been fun to program. Like, coming up with puzzles that have a good solution. 20 minus 1 is 19. Flip that to be 91. Subtract 20 gets us to 71. Flip it around, we get 17. Let me do this now. Kind of building this in a rather haphazard kind of way. Do the pantry, get a little bit of cash flow going. Yum, 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 whoops. Come on! What is this? Come on! It's dead! Like, what the fuck is this RNG? I guess maybe it's not reasonable to be angry when I'm playing an RNG-based building game and sometimes I get bad luck, but... It's frustrating for me because I'm on day, like, 1,000,000. And doing this just incurs some extra tedium, that's all. And me with my freaking 14 gems I'm going to end up with here. Okay, well, what room do I want to end in? What room do I want to guarantee? I do think that doing the entrance hall sounds pretty funny. What would happen if I put the garage over there? I mean, nothing would happen. I think I maybe just do the entrance hall. That sounds kind of interesting. Who knows if there is some esoteric interaction with this specific blessing. But let's just have 2 entrance halls. At least these days are going by relatively quickly because they're kind of failing. Since this is the last day with the blessing, I think it's likely that this is probably the last day I'm going to stream today. Plus, it is kind of late. It is, but it's not very interesting to me. I'm less interested in the mechanics than interesting. I mean, it might be interesting as well because I want to see what they do with the garage door. But I mean, that it wouldn't be interesting either. It would just be closed. And you're not going to be able to get... I guess theoretically, you could flip on the power. Oh my god. Are you seeing this? I mean, as advertised, right? I don't get outer rooms anymore. There are no more outer rooms for me. I think I've soft locked my playthrough. Because... No, I haven't. Not quite. Well, maybe. Because all else aside, there's lots of other mysteries and stuff. When you go down into the underground... I'm gonna... Let me think this through. When you go down into the underground, again, all mysteries aside, which, by the way, I haven't forgotten that there's fucking 8 closed doors next to where you pull the lever to get into room 46. I want to fully drain the reservoir. If I go down the fountain entrance, which I could do if I built a pump room and redrained it, that puts me on the wrong side of the reservoir, which means that I would have to take the boat over, which would, require the water level to be at a particular level. And ignoring the pain in the ass of making that happen, assume I have the water levels correct. I could then go over to that side, which would allow me to check a few more things. It would let me get to room 46 again. So technically, I can go down through... Let me sum this up again. If the reservoir was at the correct water level, and assuming I can take the boat, which I probably can, pretty conspicuous there, I could go down the fountain door and make my way across and get back to room 46. But there is a minecart in the way. There's a minecart in the way, which means that I can't get to... here, one sec. As I'm talking here, I'm going to open up... I have a picture saved of the underground map. And we're going to do a quick window capture on stream here. Why is it black? Is this some weird security measure? Why is it black? Okay, one sec. Let me fix this. I will open the picture in Firefox instead. Actually, I'll open it in paint.net. Sorry, one sec. This is suboptimal. But if I'm right, I may have soft locked part of my playthrough. Okay, now let me do a window capture on paint.net. Okay, so here's Here's the underground map that I took a screenshot of, right? So number 5 here, it's not capturing my cursor. One second, let me fix that. Oh, it is capturing my cursor. Where's the cursor? There it is. Okay. So you can see number 5 here. This is the fountain, which I could get down. And to fully drain the fountain, I would need access to the reserve tank. But assume I get power and I get a little bit into the reserve tank and I drop the reservoir by like 1, I could, presumably, but I assume that I can take this boat to the other side, right? Because you can see that normally, if I take this foundation down, it drops me like here, at which point I can just pop over and bam, go to the north thing, right? But that means that if I want to get down to the bottom of the reservoir and see what the hell's over here, I have to get there from this elevator in the foundation. Right, so what does that mean? That means that I can actually get down here. I would just have to work my way to the foundation as usual and drain it. So that doesn't affect getting down to the bottom of the reservoir. It doesn't affect this. What it does affect is this torch room, I think. Let me think that through as well. No, I haven't soft locked myself. Let me sum this up again. I'm confusing myself. What kinds of things might I want to do in the underground? I might want to go into room 46 again, or see the doors over here, which I can still do because I can still get to the foundation in the house as usual. I might want to get down to here, which I don't know how the fuck to open this, but I can still get there. I might want to get to the bottom of the reservoir. I can do that. There is a minecart that blocks your path, like right here, so you can't get over here. But if I went down the fountain entrance, then I can walk this way and go to the torch room. And this is actually bricked off, so I can no longer get down into the tomb. Now, thankfully, I've already done almost everything in the tomb. But there was one wall that had a permanent upgrade disc that I wasn't able to toss in a terminal because at the time I got it, I was out of steps. So that means that that is permanently bricked to me. And more to the point, I can't... Let me kill the screen capture here. More to the point, I can no longer build any outdoor rooms. Did all of that make sense at all? So what outdoor rooms... I mean, never mind the utility. I can no longer get any blessings. I can no longer do the trading post. There is a 3x3 puzzle in the trading post I can no longer do. Thankfully, I already blew up the dynamite. I can no longer build the shelter and get red room protection. So I don't know what's... So I think this might kind of be the nail in the coffin for me. The fact that the devs... It's weird because they clearly thought this through, right? Because this thing is elevated now. That's true. It might wear off. But I didn't end the previous day in the foundation though. Tell you what. I don't want to waste it. Not that it really matters, but it's a silly thing. I haven't wasted any days yet and like exited and reloaded. So I'm going to play through this day just in the house as usual and just see what happens. And then the next day when I wake up without that blessing, if the foundation is still over there, then I think I'm done. I may or may not be done with the game at all, although I think it's reasonably likely that I might not stream this game anymore. I might just, continue poking at it offline. There's just... I feel like my pace of progress has slowed. I don't know that this stream continues to be as interesting as it was. Because, the momentum of the playthrough has slowed down as I seek out these endgame puzzles. So maybe I keep poking at it offline. But let me just play through this day, if anything, and just see what happens. it's just wild that there's so many puzzles left, you know? Oh, never. I can't light this again. This is just dead. This kind of sucks too, that like you break the piggy bank and then you can't get access to it again. It'd be one thing if it closed and then you had to relight them, but like it's just dead. So now every coin I get is just gone. Which, you know, fair enough. The game doesn't owe me those coins, but I'm worried the more I stream this, the less I'm going to like this game, and I don't want that to happen, so. Anyway, let me just focus on this day. As always, I'm just, there's a handful of combinations of rooms I'm trying to build, which may or may not occur. Give me that lunchbox, thank you. When you reach rank 5 to gain 10, which I already did, cool. Build the pool. Yeah, it is lame, and also it might be a soft lock on specific bits of functionality. Like, the only thing I'm thinking of right now is that 3x3 puzzle. I don't know what's in there, but whatever it is, I have lost access to it. I'm going to build a workshop because I keep waiting for a workshop to spawn. And it never does. Is this... Oh, it's fine. Also, I don't remember where I found the musical page 8, so that's kind of annoying. You know what? At least this run, I can finally build a parlor room and then see if I can make something out of that. Although, God, I really kind of messed up here. Build a passageway. I really need to dip backwards. I'm low on resources. Here's a parlor. I'm not going to have any gems, but I'm going to take this. Oh my God, every time it does one of these animations, it like... I'm like alt-tabbing. Oh my fucking God. It like... messes up my cursor somehow. Now I accidentally opened another program. Okay. Already. Is this locked? Probably. It's not. Alright. I can't actually build. So all these brick me off. If they're going to brick me off, I might as well get some steps out of it. And a juicy gem. Alright, back towards the beginning. Too bad I built this workshop really far away. Because I want to get a bunch of items and come back. There's still 3 combination items I've never made. And for all I know, one of them might be some, like, major breakthrough progression point or something. Like, safe cracking tool. Okay, well, all of these ruin me, so let's just do a commissary. Goodbye, money. Well, I might as well build a power here and then turn around. Honestly, I shouldn't have even wasted the steps. Especially if I want to make it back up to the crafting room later. I just want a bunch more stuff before I go up there. I guess if I want stuff, I could take the broken lever, but that also cuts off my routing, so I don't want to do that. I mean, maybe. It's worth a shot. 11. Is this divided by 3? Is this 6? God, they're still adding complexity to it. This is so... Honestly, that's really cool, actually. That's very, very clever. What? But 20 doesn't evenly divide into 3. But it does if you multiply by 3, so it just becomes 20. So they really planned on you doing, like, a lot of days of this, didn't they? Like, I'm still finding new puzzles here. Oh my god, I can't build that. Okay, well, I want a bunch of items, so I'm just gonna get the broken lever. Give it back. Also, I don't know what the casino game is. Okay, I don't like losing the steps, but it makes sense here. Any running shoes? What's in here? Anything? What? Oh my god, that's camouflaged. Let's do a boudoir. Actually, no, I should do a utility closet. But I don't have a security room, do I? I might get one. Screw it. I'd rather just aim for a keycard. I'm so sick of going through the options. I'm so sick of not understanding. I don't just want to look up answers. I would love to get a hint, but like the game used to provide me hints. And now Alzara just whines on about chairs all day. +2. This is next to a bedroom. This would get me a bunch of items, but they're not guaranteed to be special items, though. So do I want 4 items right now? Or an observatory? I kind of just want 4 items, and then I can go north in the gymnasium. Hey, I got a key card. Nice. God, they really need to speed that up. Takes like 3 seconds. It's too many seconds. I think a silver key makes more sense to the right. This is not useful for me because I already have the key card. I want to redraw this. Pump room is not going to be useful because I need to pipe in power and I can't there. Just do a storeroom. Get that out of the pool. Get some easy resources. Still have 49 steps. Look at all this, though. Damn. Can't put the pump room next to the foundation anymore. God, what did I get? A lot of stuff. Oh my god, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, stop. Hold. Find a phone and hold on to it. I am bricked. Unless the blessing changes. You know what it is? I can probably rebuild the foundation in the same spot. That's probably what it is. I'm probably not actually soft locked. I didn't actually notice that it removed it from this spot. I thought there was just 2 of them. So, or is it this spot? It must be the case that I can rebuild it. Well, I mean, it might have just not given to me. I'm guessing that, yeah, I'm guessing that's what it is. Is it'll probably just be a draftable option one of these times in the same spot. And then when I do that, it'll open back up again. That has to be the answer because, yeah, otherwise that's a soft lock. And they clearly accounted for it by lifting up the elevator, so it's probably not a soft lock. My desire to uncover the late game secrets is just very quickly dissipating in the face of the amount of tedium that's... Oh my god, well I can do this though. Whenever you draft an archived floor plan, add one to your allowance. And guess what? There's an archive right there. Guess who's going to start wildly drafting archives? Experiment successful. I still wish I could get out here. I don't know what's up with that statue. It looks so conspicuous, but like I have not found a way to get out here. I'm seeing like a little patch of something there. Maybe there is a way out. It's way up here. Maybe you can like build a garage over there. Also, remember Alzara's weirdo prediction about like a man watching you and taking something from the lobby? Like, I wonder if any of that happens or if it's all just fluff. I hope it's not just fluff because that's lame to me. Like, some people don't mind that. For me, it's like you're asking an investment of me to play your game with time and energy and attention. And so it would kind of suck if Alzara had this, Alzara had this prediction where he mentioned like a shadowy figure watching me and taking something and opening like one of the gates outside that I haven't been able to open. Oh, this is the rotunda. I still have enough steps to get back around to the workshop. Actually, I might be able to build my way over to the workshop if I'm being honest. See what these are about. Go, Rotunda, go! Yeah, these are pretty likely to be locked at this point. God blasted, I need more keys. There should be keys, because... No, I didn't build the thing that... Am I really gonna only get 3 successful triggers on this archived floor plan when like I have all these open entrances and all I need is more keys? So right now I have to work all the way the bejesus back around if I want to try to draft these items together. Too bad I didn't get a shovel. Okay, away we go. I'm just still thinking about that foundation. It just must be the case that I can rebuild it again. And if I can rebuild it again, I wonder if I can rebuild it in a different spot. Probably not, because the layout of everything is such that I would have had to build the foundation in a particular spot, or the elevator taking you down to the basement to make any sense. But how interesting would that be if you could actually build it somewhere else, and that's how you get to some secret areas that you have to use like this obscure-ass blessing to make it work. Okay, what do you got for me? What can I make with my... You can't even... That's lame as fuck that you can't use the wind-up key in any recipes here. I'm mad. That's really lame, actually. I thought I was being really clever. Like, that's... I'm shocked, actually. I'm genuinely shocked, because to me that is such a clear avenue for a secret, right? Because who would think to take that parlor key and forego those gems and bring it to a workshop? Wait, do I even have it this run, or am I being dumb? No, I do have it. I do have the wind-up key. I'm actually really disappointed in that. I thought I was being really clever there. Sucks. Still don't know what these books are. What do I want to order next and not read? The History of Arindia, I guess. Well, I'm just going to keep building more archived floor plans. Okay, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I still got 4 extra allowance, but like, look how many entrances I have open. 4 entrances, and I can't get in a single one of them. Because I'm out of keys. It sucks. Okay, so here's the plan. I actually want to be... Actually, this is going to persist for another day. Yeah, Oof is right. The Blessing of the Monk persists for 1 more day, but I can't build anything out there anyway, so it doesn't matter where I rest. So here's what sucks. Looks like my cat's standing in front of my screen again. What sucks is I want to do 1 more day to see if the room resets. I'm guessing it doesn't. It probably stays exactly where it is until I rebuild it properly. But I don't want to do a full day. But this game currently, maybe it'll be patched in the future, but right now you can't actually just save a room, so I couldn't start a day and then just suspend it for later. So I think I'm just going to end stream there. It is an impressive manner. Feels like a bit of a very anticlimactic ending. But I don't know, man. I feel like my rate of discoveries has gone down so dramatically. And what's frustrating is that the rate of discovery, I don't think it's gone down just because I'm in the end game and there isn't that much left. There's actually a fair amount left. There's everything in the freezer. There's getting power down to the basement. There's the torch puzzle. There's 8 realm runes apparently that I can unlock that I haven't even done one of. I've never built a master bedroom. I haven't seen very much of the Mechanarium. I don't know how to open those 3x3 puzzles. There's all the safes. Like, there's quite a lot left to do, actually. There's the conductor puzzle that gets you into some strange thing. There's the vault keys. There's the casino puzzle. Like, there's a lot of shit that I haven't done yet. But the problem is that I have no clues on how to do any of them at all. And so my only option is to just trudge through all the RNG over and over again until I hopefully find like one new thing that clues me in the right direction. And I just don't know if that's worth the trouble right now. I don't just want to blindly look up the answers in like a YouTube playthrough, but I feel like I'd like a hint, because that's the other thing. It isn't just it takes a lot of tedium now to make more progress. It's that I don't even know if I'm going to be rewarded with progress. I'm not really unlocking permanent... I'm unlocking some permanent upgrades in the form of like these allowances, but they're relatively minor. It would take a long time for those allowances to add up to being anything really useful. Yeah, in this case I got really deeply punished for what I thought was pretty clever experimentation. I mean, it was your idea, but it was a very clever idea to try, and I was punished for it. And every time I try, there's a chance I get bricked and have to start it all over again. It seems after 36 days, if I keep grinding runs, I will eventually find an arrangement of rooms that satisfies everything I want to do, right? But it's just going to take a while. And I don't think that, you know, it can be fun to just chill in a stream, but I don't really think this is interesting stream content anymore because so much of what I'm doing is not new anymore. So much of it is grindy. So resultingly, while this game was amazing, I'm very glad I played it. I've been recommending it to all my friends. I think what I'm going to do is, number one, open myself up to be a little more liberal with spoilers. I'm still not going to explicitly look up what the answers is. Maybe one day I do that, but I'm not going to do that yet. Maybe I try to look up some hints. This game's popular enough that there might be like some, you know, Reddit threads that are offering up like soft hints and not blatant answers. Alternately, I could reach out to some friends who have solved specific puzzles that I haven't and say, hey, can you nudge me in the right direction? Additionally, I'm going to let myself off the hook with regard to watching other streams of this game. I have watched a little bit of other people play because I figure in the early days it's unlikely, possible, but unlikely that they stumble onto something I haven't. But I think I'm going to broaden that even more and say I'm going to just kind of watch them as I want to. And if I see something I didn't do, then honestly, that's fine. I probably wouldn't have figured it out anyway. And then I think maybe I just continue poking at this, do a day or two here or there, like as I'm chilling and like in my free time in the evening, instead of doing streams. Because streaming's fun. I wouldn't stream if I didn't enjoy it. I'm not kidding. I'm very much enjoying talking to you, Marine Frenchmans, but I'm being genuine when I say that if no one talked, I would still enjoy talking through my thought process, and just I find that to be a satisfying experience. But it also takes a lot of time and energy. So I am going to save and quit the current day, and I'm going to call the stream here. It's not a hard set in stone thing. You know, it's possible I change my mind, particularly like maybe there's something obvious I missed. And once I learn about it, that might allow me to, you know, have another few hours of reasonable kind of dopamine hits of progression. But I think it's likely that I probably won't stream this game anymore. I'll probably just kind of let myself off the hook and start chipping away at it offline. I am still going to stream Nine Souls, so I'm going to be coming back to that. Anyway. This game was awesome, though. I mean, kind of a shame that it's fallen off in the end, especially because I don't know that I have confidence that the rewards will be worth it, or if it's going to be more books. But anyway, thank you for watching, and have a great night. Bye.